Hey humans, welcome Friday Money, Sex, and God. This is my third time coming live because the first two, I don't think you could hear me. So here I am. We're back. What you guys can do is ask any questions that you have in the comments, anything that's appearing and arising in your sex life. Please let me know. This is your opportunity to get some coaching, to get some channeling, to get some support around taboo topics, around things that we don't really want to talk about, right? Sex. I was just thinking today, so as I kind of ramble on, just know that you can type comments. You can type comments in the comment section or questions or things that are arising. I don't have any backlogged today, so if anything's coming up, this is your opportunity to ask questions about anything, sex, about abundance, about human relating, any areas of tension. I just want you to feel into where you're desiring deeper love and connection and opening, where you're desiring more pleasure and yumminess in your body, where you're starting to reclaim your essence. And let me know if there are any things coming up, any pieces of confusion, knowing that I don't know anything. This is simply, there's not really anyone even here. So this is simply a channeling to you in support and service to you guys, okay? And I was just thinking about today, I was feeling into this deep desire in everyone's being, right? This deep desire for all of us to simply feel love, right? Which is who we are. And then once we feel love, either within our body or with another, and we feel that connection and we feel that depth, then we're brought right back to remembering who we are, right? And the reason that I love playing in sex and love being in the world of sexuality is that it's one of the mechanisms in our society in which we detract from love, in which we pull away from love, right? Sex is this thing, this heavy thing. It can be this heavy thing, right? That keeps us from loving ourselves and another. And that's just what it is, right? We've put it, so is money and so is God, right? All three of these things can be tools for separateness, tools to be isolated, tools for you to just play into your stories of I'm alone, I'm not good enough, right? And to be able to play in these arenas, to be able to really dive into these arenas of feeling separate and feeling not good and feeling lonely and feeling the grief and the anger and all of that, and then transmuting it through your sexual energy and finding again the essence of you, which is love, is one of the most powerful tools that I believe we have in this human body, right? And so the whole point of all of this work is for us to recognize that aloneness is a story and it's not real. And no matter how alone you feel in this moment, or how different or how damaged or how broken, broken was a big part of my story for a long time, that's a story, right? That was created based on your past, which isn't even real, because the only thing real is this moment right here, right? And so we come to realize that, and not only recognize it in the mind, but also interpret it. I wouldn't even say interpret. It's like the experience yourself as oneness. You're experiencing yourself as everything. And so, yeah, there's part of you that feels broken, and there's also the part of you that is that whole being, right? Just some ramblings, and I see I got a question, so I want to answer it. Thank you, Tatika. She says, I feel like my physical body is holding pain as I release and heal. My left elbow and knee specifically, like the emotions are stuck in those joints, if that makes sense. Any suggestions to move that energy through? Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff you can play with there. If you want to, Tatika. Pain is so beautiful, isn't it? It's such a marker for where energy wants to play and move and where we want to grow. And I love that. I love that we have pain as a marker, right? As like a indicator. So first thing to recognize is that the left side body is your receiving body, and it's in the heart channel where you're feeling the block. So just recognizing this probably has something to do with love. This probably has something to do with receiving love versus giving love, right? With that polarity and playing in that space. There may be grief there. There may be like a channeling of how to bring it into the body. So I would do a lot of things. I would play with that area. And you can play with it however you want, love. There's no right answer. One of the techniques I love was taught to me by Anna Jaya Judith, and I think it's fabulous. It's all about feeling pain. So if we have pain, what causes the suffering is the denial of the pain, or the running or the avoidance of the pain, right? And once we can allow ourselves to fully feel whatever's here, which could be pain, could be grief, could be anger, could be rage, whatever that is, then that charged place in us, right, in your arm that you're feeling, will eventually dissolve when you fully feel it. So the suffering is actually in the running away from the pain. I've done this a lot with people that have had chronic illness. We've gone deep into the illness and actually fully felt the illness, plus all of the emotions, plus all of the thoughts, plus all of the images. And then over time, the illness, because it's fully felt and accepted and brought into the reality, disappears. So one piece is that. Another piece, the way you can do this physically, is you can take your, wherever you're feeling, I'm just assuming it's kind of this area that you were talking about. Oh, let me see, you commented. Totally where I am right now in my life, I'm feeling, instead of running or distracting myself with things that are lighter or more fun. Yeah, so this left-handed, like bringing love into you channel that you're feeling is totally saying like, hey, be present to the right now moment of absolute love. And allow that to come in to love, right? Allow that to be here and be present with you. And I got another one, Angeline. I'd like to know what releasing anger looks like. What does it actually look like? I was always taught that anger was bad and dangerous and scary and hurtful. So how do you release that without hurting or scaring anybody? How do you release that for yourself? And what if you do need to be angry with someone? What does that look like in a healthy way? Oh my God, these questions are so good. Okay, let me move my chair. Stuff's gonna happen. Get ready. All right, so first for you, Tatika. I love your name. It's gorgeous. I would take whatever you're feeling here and I would increase. You're going to do this in your own time. I'm going to do this in like 2 minutes, but please extend this in your own practice. Make it to like 20 or 30 minutes, okay? Feel fully whatever that is. So and I would actually move my body to increase the sensation of pain around the elbow area. So I'm increasing. I'm going. I'm feeling fully into it. And then I'm starting to feel all the thoughts. I'm starting to see all the images. Ooh, I'm even feeling tears behind my eyes, just kind of feeling your pain. I'm starting to recognize deeply the body sensations and I'm leaning into them fully. And I'm going to turn it up all the way until it's at a 10. Ooh, there it is for me. Just about a 10. And then I'm just going to recognize again, I'm going to take a screenshot of the images, of the thoughts, of the body sensations and the emotions. And then really, really slowly, so slowly that we can barely feel you move. This was, again, taught to me by Anna Jaya Judith, who I love. She's someone who trained me 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. You're going to slowly move into the opposite feeling. Okay, so you're going to get your body into a place that feels opposite. You see how slowly I'm moving? Like this is what we want to do because it's recalibrating your nervous system. You may feel places where you feel kind of stuck, and it's probably non-linear movement because you've never been in the opposite feeling before. You probably don't really know where to go. And for me right now, the pain's kind of shooting around my back. And so I'm just kind of playing with moving that. When we can start to identify pain as energy, right? So pain is simply just like energy blocks. And we're not avoiding it. We're not going, oh, fuck, there's pain. And we're starting to just allow it in. Then we get to play with it more, right? So I'm still kind of finding the opposite place. Oh, it feels good. Something with the chest area, Tatika. There's definitely an opening in the chest area that wants to happen for you, love. Ooh. And that might happen. It's energy, the energy moving through you. It feels pretty pleasurable when you can really surrender to it and let yourself go in it. And then feel fully what that is. And then notice here, what's the image? I see like sparkly rainbows. What are the thoughts? What are the thoughts? Receiving. Are the thoughts coming in for me right now? For you, for us, we're all one, whatever. What's the body sensation? I feel like expansion through my chest. I feel heaviness in my legs, like a sturdiness, like a safety that I can actually receive all this love. And what are the emotions? Like happiness, joy, lightness, pride. And so just stay in the opposite feeling, keep feeling that. And then what you can do to just like triple check it, Tatika, in your own time is you can go back and forth between the two places until neither of them feel charged. So going back from one to the other, and then you'll notice over time that you're just like, wait, what am I even doing? Like there's no difference between the two spots. Okay? So, something fun to play in. And then this Angeline, you asked this awesome question and I want to answer it. Because it's gorgeous. I have time. I have 5 minutes. Here we go. Time. Oh, time. Time is my current constriction for sure. I'm playing in which has been a fun thing to play in, recognizing that time's not real. Okay, Angeline, I'd like to know what releasing anger looks like. What does it actually look like? It's going to look different. So what I would invite you to do, and invite kind of everyone here to play in, is that when we're releasing an emotion, it doesn't need to look a certain way. So releasing happiness for me sometimes looks like screaming and raging at the moon. Releasing sadness sometimes looks like laughter and giggles. Releasing anger sometimes looks like sadness. So I'd like us to get rid of the identification of the emotion as best we can to allow us to just move the energy. Think of it more like, I like to imagine it almost like there's energy that's open in my body and there's energy that's more constricted in my body. And my job every day is to just find where is the constriction and how do I move in it, lean in it, be with it, love it, accept it, to allow it to move out of me. Sometimes that movement looks like shaking, dancing, screaming, orgasm, like numerous things. I can even move it sometimes just using my mind, right? So it's going to look different. And yeah, when we're taught that anger is bad and dangerous and scary, that's going to block off that anger, that channel, probably your third chakra channel. The way that, a thing that you can play with, love, is to release, is you can practice just like firing up your solar plexus. So ab workouts, sorry. Things like doing chopping motions or hitting motions like this. Things like, this is one that Anna Dea taught me, where you shift your hips all the way forward and then put your arms straight up, and then you'll feel burning in the upper abdomen, right in the solar plexus after a while. Mine's pretty released there, so I don't have a whole lot, but yeah, you'll shake a little bit, right? All of those are going to kind of move the energy up and move it through. And then don't just think, okay, let me feel it fully, but then also offer it a place to expand into. Offer it a place to open into. So you can feel whatever the thing is, the rage and the anger, and then can you bring it into your heart? Can you bring it up into your throat? Can you bring it down through your pussy, right? Like wherever it desires to go, can be fun to play in. And what if you need to be angry with someone? Okay, cool. I love this. I was just reading this. There's a book I'm reading that I love, Angelina. I think you would love it. It's called Blue Truth by David Deida. David Deida's words are just yes. But he talks about how sometimes love looks like anger. And sometimes love looks like fucking passion. And sometimes love looks like rage. And so sometimes anger comes out in a loving manner. And a lot of relationships, I see this with my couples a lot, were not, for whatever reason, anger wasn't a space where it was allowed to play because, trauma triggers, things like that. But if we can open to the anger between two people, if we can say to our partner, fuck, you look angry, I'm going to sit here and I want to experience your anger. and just love you there. And then we just let them go at it, right? Of course, with boundaries that you need, right? But there's a way that we can do that really beautifully. I highly recommend setting up a container, a safe container of like, okay, you're allowed to release anger, but don't touch my body. You have 5 minutes only, like whatever you need, like set a timer, like, and then breathe together, figure out a calm down. But to experience rage in your partner and to be able to bring that into a relationship with whoever it is, love relationship. God, sometimes I'll even feel myself experiencing anger with my child and then modeling that and modeling what that looks like and explaining to him how anger is a cool emotion. It gets shit done. It moves things. It signifies danger, right? It's fast. Sometimes we want that energy, right? And I'll explain to him why it's arising in my body and what's happening, and we have the dialogue. It can allow for a depth of intimacy and a depth of love between these two people in a really gorgeous way, especially when you know that you can show up fully in all these emotions. And that starts with the inner work, Angeline, of allowing yourself to be with your own anger fully. So doing practices, fighting your, like the pillow, like being in that, even in a self-pleasure practice, anger can come up and you can start to feel it, right? And just allow it out. Start there. And so that way you know how to hold yourself. So that you're not depending on your partner or whoever's in front of you to hold your anger for you. They're there to witness it and experience it, but you're holding it, right? Ultimately, it's you holding it. Right hip means that there's a sexual expression wants to be expressed. There's a part of your sexuality that wants to be expressed that's not fully expressed. 1000% spot on, just channeling. Never had that safe container. Yeah, I mean, Angeline, that's part of what I do in my coaching. I know we've talked about working together possibly, but that may be a good spot, a good place for you. I'm also doing a group coming up in November, starting a group of women. So that may also be a really accessible way for you to lean into that as well. So just reach out. I think you have my email, love. Just email my team and we can get you into the group. And this is for anyone else. There's 10 spots. We've got 2 spots filled already. I'm not really advertising it because I don't know, people are appearing. But if you'd like to come in there, it's all about reclaiming your sovereignty, and in doing that, creating the love and the depth of connection that you desire through like a fierce alpha feminine way of doing it, through owning your inner masculine and really like allowing that to be there. Love this. I just wrote a Facebook post around appropriate expressing of anger. It's vital to our emotional connections and expands all areas of living a passionate life. Yeah. Without anger, we're not living the full spectrum. Anger is fucking awesome. It's amazing. It's great for sex. Like, to be ravished can only happen from a place of passionate anger, right? To that feeling of being claimed, like that's an anger, right? So, fucking awesome. So fun. Yeah, Angeline, cool. Message me. And that's for anyone else. You can message me here or email my team if you are interested in that group. We're starting in mid-November. It's Genevieve, my name, at essentialreclamation.com. We start in mid-November. Genevieve at essentialreclamation.com. I do also have one spot for one-on-one coaching, and then I am completely booked until January. So if you think that that's for you, reach out ASAP. Because we got some people coming in. I think I actually have someone I need to start working with now that just emailed me, so that spot may already be taken. If not, jump into the group. Definitely express interest if you're interested, if this calls to you. And yeah, Tatika, anger, comfortable place. Hey, a lot of times it's for a lot of women, it's our way to get into our sexuality. So anger is fucking great. I think we should talk more about anger next week. So I'll be back Friday at 3, next Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I feel like I want to start making these longer, so I may do different timings so I can spend more time with you, but definitely next week, Friday, I don't know, maybe 2:45, I'll jump on early if I can, and we can dive deeper into this awesome feminine rage that that we're playing in right now. So make sure to email me if you want to be in the group. November group of alpha women or people who desire to be alpha women, though you probably already are. It's just a remembering. Genevieve at essentialreclamation.com. Big love to you guys. Mwah. Enjoy your afternoon.